What's up, guys? How's it going today? Guess what? We finally have round 5 of locals from a few weeks ago, the last locals before the ban list. And it is Branded Predaplant versus Sharks. It's actually a relatively quick one, but yeah, we will see. They're just waiting for time to start. They've already figured out if it's turn 1 or turn 2. Uh, so Euan is on the bottom. He's on Sharks, and then Cian, who's been on feature match a fair bit, is on Branded Predaplant Despia. They're just talking about all the bits that I'm going to have to cut out because of waiting for a time to start. So they're just waiting for the timer to start. But should be relatively quick. I've got this on double speed, so we should be okay. They're starting off, so Euan's going first. Lifeless Leaf Fish. Summoning Lifeless Leaf Fish. Its effect is to send a fish to the grave, I think. I think so. She'll double check in a second, I guess, when we figure out what he's doing. So he sends Crystal Shark to grave. It's a level 5 fish. Dispawn Abyss Shark directly from hand. Abyss Shark directly, he's locked into waters. So adding a fish. So he's adding Silent Angler to hand. Silent Angler to hand is if you control a water monster, you can special summon it. And then Crystal Shark gets to special summon itself, which is quite good. So that's 2 level 5s on the field, and hopefully 2 level 4s very soon. So he gets to go for Stealth Dragon, and then Silent Angler into Bahamut Shark. And unfortunately, this time he Nibiru's. When he sees the Bahamut Shark, he Nibiru's. So the stats are pretty big. So the stats are 4,500. I'll just put it in the center. Yeah, so he's asking where to put the token. So unfortunately, so we'll just pause because unfortunately, we didn't get to see the full play of the shark board, but you can imagine the Totally Awesome will be on the field, and then he can get to go into some more water-based sort of strategy. So at this stage, he's currently stuck under the token, very reliant on, you know, the Bahamut Shark and Toad interaction to sort of protect him, but I feel maybe Euan may have overextended into Nibiru at that stage, but it depends. Maybe there's a way to get to Totally Awesome in under 5 summons. In which case that would be probably the best bet. But so he's stuck under Nibiru. Nibiru is at 4,500. So, and he sets one and passes. 36 defense. And then Cian starts off his turn with the Nibiru on the board. Stand by main. Normal summon Chlamydia Sundew. Chains goes and match. Keep Chlamydia Sundew. Unfortunately, Glows and Match is not very good against Predaplants because they're all darks. So he goes for Amblemades. Amblemades effect to search. And then Amblemades effect to tribute to special eventually, I'm assuming. Unfortunately, Goes and Match does absolutely nothing against Predaplant Despia. So he searches for Buffalicula. Tribute to someone from deck. Usual Predaplant combo stuffs. Very unfortunate we didn't get to see too much more of the sharks, I guess. So you don't get to tribute. So just for reference, actually, as well, in case people are not aware, Amblemades doesn't tribute itself for cost. It tributes itself as part of the effect. So if you try to ash it, it doesn't work. So he's now locked under stuff that's So he summons Darren Cobra effect to search for the fusion spell. Search for. So he's locked under dark. So he's actually be careful. So he's search for instant fusion. Instant fusion effect. Pay 1,000. Bring out Millenniumize Restrict. Protect himself from hand traps. Branded Fusion. So he already had Branded Fusion in hand. Albaz plus Romarin. That's Albion. Albion's the dark one. So sends a plant from deck. So he millenniumized chain DD Crow. 2 DD Crows, yeah. Yeah, so he hits the Albaz. So that actually it prevents him from summoning Nurjade essentially with the Albaz, which is fair enough. You can still summon though. He just has to summon something different. So he probably has to go into Ghostrifter, right? So he goes into more than likely Ghostrifter actually, yeah. Just thinking about what he's using. Yeah. Yeah, so he's going for the same one, Ghostrifter, why not? Big ass monster, you know, so that's why Millennium Strike is so powerful, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit too long, I'd say, for he was looking to change the position, but I think it would be too late. A lot of stuff has happened in the meantime, so I would say so too. I mean, usually you wouldn't go too sharky at locals, but when it when it kind of can make the difference between life or death really here, you'd probably not, you know. So he's going Buffy-Licula, Effective Fusion. So odds are he's checking if Guardian Chimera. So now he's making Guardian Chimera. Yeah, Guardian Chimera effect pop. Pop 2. Draw 1, pop 2. Yeah. And so he's going to use the Albion. So he's getting the Albion into grave again. And then he's got, what's that? 5,000. Oh no, that's 6,000. 6k. That's 6k damage on board right there. So, and he's got Ghostrifter and he's got Albion effect as well in phase. So pretty prominently strong position, you know. So not much you can do really. Nibiru was kind of a big blowout. Oh, he goes for banishment, not Branded Red, which makes sense. I think there's very few things that that he can use for Euan. He draws another DD Crow and kind of out the board, scoops it all up. So the Nibiru was very fatal there. So just going to wait for siding. Okay, starting into game 2. Let's see what we got here. I can see the overhead view is a bit off kilter, so that's a bit annoying. But sure, hey. So Buzzsaw Shark. What the hell is that? Dropped. Buzzsaw Shark. Summons from deck. Silent Angler effect. Overlay. Go for Bahamut Shark. Toad. So now he's got Toad on the field, so he's at least insulated slightly from Nibiru. So then, so he's going Abyss Shark searching a fish. Okay. So he goes for Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark summons something, or searches something, I guess. Okay. It's a Stealth Kraken. Okay. And he's waterlocked. So this time at least he's insulated himself a bit from the view. What the hell is that card? What is that card? Something magic mirror, is it? Magic mirror. Or white mirror. Okay. So he goes for Dweller. Yeah.
Here we are now. 22, 27, 24, 3,100. Let's see. In the main phase, I'll activate Imperm targeting.
Oh my god! Imperm! Okay, let's just pause. Why do you think he's activating Imperm on Totally Awesome? You hate to see it. You hate to see it, folks. Don't you just hate to fucking see it? Right? So he insulated himself from Nibiru. He got his Toad out in under 4 summons. Imperm on Toad. You might honestly think of negating the Imperm at this stage, right? Because for me, if I see that Imperm, I kind of know what's coming next, right? For the most part. And the answer is probably Nibiru. So you might as well go Toad effect negate to set it to your side of the field. I would think. At least that way you have an interruption on their turn, right? So
Well, I'll have to let that see when okay, let's see if you got this.
let's see if he's got this. Okay. End of main.
That only applies to face up. So basically, if a monster leaves the field to activate the effects, like this for example, or Rescue Rabbit, this will still negate it. It's the old effect for
And Nibiru comes down. Comes down. Let's go, Nibiru. So there's good old Nibiru again. Very, 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 very unfortunate. So we didn't get to see much of Euan's turn. As you might imagine, obviously, Cian is 2 cards down. Stats are huge again, right?
everything gains 500. So
No, it's original attack, so it's okay. He's just saying everything gains 500, but it's original attack only.
what in defense?
In defense is fine. He's just gonna get over it.
Main phase? Also,
Yeah.
Ash. I'll use the effect search. God damn it, okay.
So he's after ashing the Ortho Scorpio, which specials by discarding, but by Bliss also searches as well, so very unfortunate. I think that might have been a premature ash. In this case, I would say, just based on playing against Cian quite a few times, the aim would be for him to either ash the thing that searches the fusion card, or, well, no, you'd probably just ash the thing that searches the fusion card, right? Because odds are he either has Brilliant Fusion in hand, or he's searching for Instant Fusion to protect his Brilliant Fusion. So you need, or not Brilliant Fusion, Branded Fusion, sorry. But you need to pick between one or the other. So basically, it's the lesser of two evils. You have to kind of read into how good their hand might be. And so far it's been Imperm, Nibiru, Scorpio, Biblisp, right? So now you know there's at least one non-fusion card in their hand, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 cards out of the 5. So the last card, the odds are it's probably not. Well, yeah, it's probably not Branded Fusion. So whenever they bring out the next card, which is the Darling Cobra, I think, or maybe Buffalicula, that is the time when you should probably consider ashing it. Just based on how many cards are left. So yeah, he gets Buffalicula. That's the one he searched off Biblisp, I'm assuming. Fusing another Biblisp. So this is what you ash. So based on what you know, based on the information that you would know at this time, that ash was premature. Obviously, it's premature because it was on the monster that special summons. But the thing that it special summons is Clemitis Unju, which, to be honest, doesn't really do much. So you're either ashing this, or you're either ashing the monster that this would summon. And by this I mean Ambulomades. So it's just something to be aware of. Like sometimes you feel like just ashing the first thing that comes to mind. But to be honest, you need to really think about what card is going to threaten you the most. And in this deck, it's brilliant. It's Branded Fusion. I keep saying Brilliant Fusion. It's Branded Fusion, right? So in that case, you need to make sure you try your best to make sure they don't get to Branded Fusion, or prevent, or like kind of try to read into their soul to see if they already have Branded Fusion. That's kind of the two options, really. So I can give an example. Like literally yesterday, I was playing against Cian, and I held the ash through the entire turn. And unfortunately, by the time he got to Darling Cobra, which searches the fusion card, he already had Branded Fusion in hand, and he searched for Instant Fusion, which protected him from the Ash Blossom. So there's nothing much I could do at that stage. I was really hoping to hit the Branded Fusion, but he already had it, so there's nothing much I could do at that stage, to protect him. So that was quite good. Yeah.
You win.
So Euan scoops it up.
I am probably going to be getting around out.
He's unfortunately.
It was a lifeless I'm expecting you to play the maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nibiru was very unfortunate there. I do think that the Shark deck has demonstrated itself to be quite explosive. Unfortunately, it just does seem to fall apart to Nibiru and Imperm, which, I mean, I think most decks do. Most decks can protect against one Nibiru, but even like let's say if you were playing Sprite, right, and you had got Impermed on your Gigantic Sprite, but you had Toad or something, or even like I usually play Adventure Sprite, so if you had you had Griffin Rider to negate the Imperm, at that stage you still might get nibbed, right? Because you've already used it. So they would probably go imperm. So they go chain imperm target gigantic sprite. I'd negate with Griffin Rider, and then they go Nibiru, right? And at that stage you're still screwed. So that kind of imperm Nibiru is literally the perfect hand to draw if you're going second against a large majority of decks, to be honest. So nothing that can be done. Well done to Cian. So this was table 1. Unfortunately, due to tiebreakers, he actually came second. But for the most part, it was still a pretty good showing. He still went undefeated. It just so happened that his tiebreakers were less good than the person who came first, who we already have the profile up of, actually. So yeah, this has been, I guess, all the rounds so far of that locals. We'll try and do some more if we can. I want to try and record. I was hoping to try and record the regionals we had recently, but I was not allowed, so that's fine. But yeah, we'll see what else we can get up to with some of these things. Like, I want to get some more live action duels up on the channel, and just to see what we can learn from, and see what we can get better at, and see what kind of decks and diversity there are within kind of, I guess, mainly like Ireland locals or Dublin locals. I'd love to get more like viewpoints from other locals areas and stuff like that. It'd be quite cool. As we kind of sort of take over on this stuff. But yeah, hopefully I'll have a good time as these kind of videos sort of slowly but surely improve. At the moment it's just names on the sides of the screen, but it might be life points depending on how it goes, or life points, or it might flash the card up on the screen or something like that, But it's just take it bit by bit, and hope you'll all be here to join me on the journey. Cheers, folks. Take care. Subscribe or whatever.